on 75th Street, which I've heard is called Chicago's Black Wall Street, but Stephanie has another name for it.
Blacknificent Mind.
Which I kind of like better. I wanted to first tell you how much joy this place brings me. Like,
thank you.
Every time I come in here, I get excited. I know I'm about to eat something sweet, cheesecake, cake, cupcake, something I'm probably not supposed to be eating, but I'm gonna enjoy it while I'm eating it. and like I was telling you earlier, I grew up in the suburbs. We didn't have a black-owned bakery in the suburbs. We had Walmart, we had Sam's, we had Jewel. That's where we would go to get our stuff, right? And so coming here, it's like you get the bakery feel and you coming in your auntie's kitchen feel. And I love that. Oh, I absolutely love that. So I just had to let you know that if that was your plan, you made it.
That was my plan, to represent my grandmother, the cake ladies in the neighborhood, my auntie that made the red velvet. It was my plan to put them out because I thought that, you know, people talk about tiramisu and fondant and this and that, but really don't, I mean, that has its place, but it wasn't the cake that I was loved on with as a child, and I wanted people to feel the love that I felt through dessert.
All the way back to the beginning, to when you were a kid. So how was it, first of all, your grandmother was making the cakes, right?
My grandmother, and people made cakes, like, so in my family, cake was celebration. It was a little sacred. You had to be on your best behavior. You couldn't be out of line. Like if you messed up, you wasn't getting any cake.
No cake, huh?
No cake. And there were cakes like red velvet that were super special, and we didn't get that. Like, no. And if somebody bought the store-bought cake that you talking about, like if somebody showed up with that, and you were a kid, that's what you all got. Right? So those grand cakes, you kind of look forward to the time that you were worthy of them, right? Other than on your birthday and Christmas, you know, those other times, you knew it was coming on those days.
Tell me how it felt when you knew that a cake was getting made. Like, were you in the kitchen, in there too, trying to see what was going on?
So we would be nearby, but my grandmother was, she did domestic work, and she was super concerned about us not doing that. So we could sit in the kitchen with her, but we would be looking at a National Geographic, listening to classical music, looking at some art magazine or something that she wanted us to share with, and she would talk to us about those things while she was making it. And of course then we got the enjoyment of the smell, her conversation, and the love that we got to watch her do things with.
I was gonna ask about that smell, because that's something that I remember as a kid too. The smell, and she would let us come in for just a second and get like a little piece of the some of the batter in the mixer. And so yeah,
I think cake batter is a food category.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
She would have to be like, you're gonna get sick, you can't have it anymore. that was me.
Just not being able to find, like you said, there just wasn't bakeries readily available nowhere. At that time I was a technology consultant traveling the country, and I would go to DC, New York, LA, nobody had it.
Wow.
They didn't have it in Atlanta. Not even down south.
Right.
It was weak. I'm like, that's a box cake. That's not my grandmama cake.
Yeah.
Because I wanted my birthday cake.
I know that's right.
I wanted that taste, that feeling, and I started baking until I got that taste, which was not an easy feat.
I'm sure.
I made a lot of mistakes. When you start to bake, your personality will conform to the product. You're not gonna conform. You're not gonna make it conform. Baking is a science, not an art. And so I wanted to just be able to, you know, toss like people cook and do all of that. That's not how you bake. Baking is precise, and I have a love for that. I have a love for being able to replicate the exact same space, the exact same feeling. And there's a whole art around that. So I had to learn a different art to be able to be a successful baker. I want my cakes to invoke a feeling, and they're still invoking a feeling in me.
Well, that's good, because some people, they do something for so long, it becomes like a chore. It's not fun anymore. They think they wanted to do it, but now they don't. And you don't have that feeling, huh? All these years
Well, you know
later?
what? Honestly, my job was to never be a baker. I perfected that because it was part of the path of once I decided that people responded so well to my product that, and it really wasn't a product, it's just I made this cake and people were going nuts. When I decided to make it a business, I knew I wasn't going to be baking all the time, because I can't do both. I did it for a long time, and then thank goodness my business started to grow, and I don't do that anymore. I kind of oversee different, and there's no boredom in my life. Like, we are constantly pivoting. You can't be in business anywhere and be bored, because especially not these girls. It was the whole pandemic. Like, we had to learn how to live life over again. There's social media, there's websites, there is how to get your product nationwide. There's all kinds of challenges. So if you're bored, just set a new goal. I just need to hear this from a professional, because I really have never heard it. You know, back in the day when your mom or whomever, when they were baking the cake, they tell you to be still or the cake is gonna fall. Tell me about that. Can that happen? That can actually happen.
Okay.
So here's what's going on in your oven. From a scientific point, there really is a chemical reaction happening in the oven. You know that baking soda, baking powder, or baking soda and salt that you're putting in the cake is causing a chemical reaction. Sugar is also involved in it. The flour is more like a binder, and the butter is to mix all the ingredients together. But there's basically an explosion going on, and while the cake is doing this, if you hit it, it's like a bubble that pops. If you think about it like that, and the cake will fall. The other thing is, don't look, I know you heard this one too, don't open my door. Don't be looking in on that cake, because the temperature should stay consistent in an oven, and the more you open the door, then you're dropping the temperature, and you're really, it's like I said, it's science.
Oh wow, okay, because we were just like, they wanted us to sit down, stop running around.
No, they wanted you to stop running around, because all that bumping and banging could have literally ruined the cake.
Ruined the cake, okay.
I'm officially a queen-ager this year. And as a queen-ager, I'm gonna tell you, everything your grandmama told you when you was a teenager, that's real talk.
Yeah, you told me what the people's favorite is, or what your most common cake is, which is caramel cake. Is that your favorite, or what's your favorite cake?
My favorite cake is pineapple coconut, and that's the cake that I started learning how to make. That was the cake I taught myself how to make first.
Okay.
I will say that caramel was the hardest thing for me to master, and mastering it consistently is such a challenge. Because it just won't do it.
Well, I've heard about caramel cake. My auntie makes them for our family, and she always complains. She's like, why y'all gotta like caramel cake? You know, it's not the easiest cake to make. She has to make the caramel, and it's a lot of, it looks like a lot of work. I just be looking. I don't do that.
It's a lot of work, and it's sensitive.
Yeah, that's what she said. And she'll be like, oh, I messed this one up. I want to throw it away. It still tastes good to us, so we'll take it. A lot of people may think that they know the meaning behind the name of brown sugar because it's a bakery, but that's not it, right? What's the real meaning behind the name of brown sugar?
So the real Brown Sugar is one of my favorite songs. Rolling Stones. Mick Jagger and I have the same birthday.
Oh.
He was born first. The band was formed the year I was born, 1962. And growing up in Downers Grove, I used that song. It was out when I was in high school, and I used that song to kind of combat racism. It was my up. You know, people that weren't very nice to me, I would tell them, but you sing about me every day.
Ooh, I know that's right.
Yes.
I know that's
right. So when you sing Brown Sugar, you're singing about me.
Right. I know that's right. I like that.
Yeah.
Because you know, some of us think about the other Brown Sugar song, right?
Oh, you mean D'Angelo? I love him too.
So let's talk about Cupid candies for a minute. That was historic. You know you broke history, right?
I hope I broke history. I wanted to. It was an exciting thing. So we were looking, as you can see, we're in one little tiny corner here. And so my goal in beginning to look for space to expand this. Not to leave 75th Street, because I love 75th Street, but my dream for 75th is to take my manufacturing, because we're manufacturing cakes. We're not no bakery no more.
Right.
We're pumping them out all kind of ways. And to put that in a real proper manufacturing space that has, you know, easy access for deliveries and things like that. And when I started looking, I went to a listing that was Cupid Candies. And I asked the man, I said, well, what you gonna do with all this stuff? And he said, I'm gonna send it to a company in Michigan. I was like, I want it.
Right, let me get that.
And then it worked out that we were gonna buy Cupid Candies, but unfortunately and very sadly, because I was looking forward to working with him, he passed away. And his family did not want to continue the business, but they still let me buy the building. And so December and January of last year, end of 20 and the beginning of 21, we took the history of Cupid and put the brown sugar spin on it and came up with a line of candies called Life is Sweet. You've had a milk chocolate turtle, you've had a dark chocolate turtle.
Right.
We make ruby turtles, which is a pink chocolate. We make white chocolate turtles. We make German chocolate turtles.
Oh, no you don't.
Yes we do.
Oh.
And for an aviation conference that's coming up, I'm making a custom red velvet turtle.
Oh my God.
So my job is to look at the candy of the past, and you remember those I don't know if you remember, you might not remember, the turtles used to come in a can, y'all. They was called Katie Dibs. And you twisted that thing off, and you could steal one of them or two of them because you could dig down. They were in layers and take one without anybody knowing you did. I think right now my greatest accomplishment is adapting to this new world. I'm so thankful that my team and myself have been able to pivot and move to selling our products online nationwide, making alignments with other large companies that we are now on. You can get our stuff through Taste of Chicago, which is a website powered by Lou Malnati's Pizza.
Oh wow.
And to be able to work with companies like that brings a different awareness and knowledge to me that I'm able to implement. My path for escaping mom and pop and truly becoming a manufacturer of products, I'm extremely proud of that. That path means that as a retail business, and I love my retail business on 75th Street, there's a certain type of job that I can offer people. But in a manufacturing company, I can take you from coming in here and mopping the floors to COO, Chief Operating Officer.
Exactly.
And my goal is to see people in my community be able to work in their community, buy homes in their community, send their children to college in the community.
Now we talked about the pandemic a little bit, and you weren't exempt from the struggle of the pandemic. So what,
girl,
what do you feel like was your biggest obstacle during the pandemic?
I think my biggest obstacle in the pandemic, like most people, or some people, I won't say most, I didn't have a proper relationship with my bank. All I did was deposit money in my bank. For anybody that's aspiring to be an entrepreneur, get your banker's phone number. You put a dime in, you get that phone, not the number to the bank. Don't put your money there unless they give you the cell phone, because the pandemic taught me that relationships with banks are key. Those are the folks that got taken care of. And when nobody knows your name, nobody knows your name.
It's gonna be my next question. Like, what would you tell a woman that is starting off as an entrepreneur, and what would you tell a woman that's been doing it for a while?
For a woman that's been doing it for a while, persevere. And I'm gonna tell you, I just heard that this morning. I wrote it down, persevere. I would also tell you, do next level work on the mind monkey, because you know the real deal is, no matter how much success you have, every day there's something in your head telling you you're not worthy. You need to tell her to shut up and sit down someplace. Remind yourself of who you are. Take that time to build yourself up is so important. And for somebody starting out, study to show yourself approved. I think asking questions is great, but I'm just gonna tell you, you don't really have to ask anybody anything. You got Google. I promise you, if you Google any subject and go 4 pages deep, and when I say 4 pages deep, you know those listings that come up, go in and out of every one of those listings. Go on YouTube and watch 10 videos on something, then ask your question. Once you do that, you're gonna get the information that you want back, because when you ask somebody just a general question, they're gonna give you a general answer. My thing is, know what you're asking, and if you don't know what you're talking about, you can't know what you're asking.
Hello, somebody. You started this one in 2004, right?
2002.
2002?
Yeah, I started down the street. A lot of people don't know that. I was in a little tiny pink and brown hand painted, y'all. Y'all should have seen me up there with the cutout letters, painting the awning by hand.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do, yeah.
Okay, so you're at 20 years then.
This is my
year.
20th year. I'm so excited.
So tell me you having a party or something.
Girl, 6/11, we are doing it. We are going to be at the Parkway Ballroom.
Okay.
My friend Chef Rome is hosting us for our 20th anniversary gala. I'm excited to say that we are having, I've been trying to do this for a long time, we are having a cakewalk. We're having a historical cakewalk. I don't know if you really know that a cakewalk was started by slaves actually used to dress up and mock their masters. Literally dress up and act like them. So now we can dress up and act like us. So I'm excited to have this new Jack cakewalk.
I love it. Yes, and that's June 11th. Is that going to be a private event?
It's going to be, we're going to be selling tickets. We're doing a lot of things. We're doing a lot of things in the community. There's things I've been wanting to do. One of the projects that we're doing is we are donating our products to a couple of strategic schools that we picked in order for the kids to learn about entrepreneurship and raise money.
Okay, that's awesome.
So that's one of the things we're doing. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's also my 60th birthday. I will officially be a queen age.
Yes, celebrate it all. I just had my, the AKAs just had their conference, right? I just want you to know, it was caramel cupcakes floating all around that conference. I'm not even talking about from whoever bought them, because I think the AKAs bought some too. I bought some for my line sisters, for my out-of-town line sister gifts, so they were everywhere. And that's what they see as a taste of Chicago. When they were like, oh, this is Chicago, brown sugar, you know, so, and they were like, which I can tell them, they can order things online if they want to continue that tasting, but they were so excited. It was you and Garrett's, that's where it was. And
Let me just tell you, like, when I first started this business, I said I wanted to be Chicago's cake. That used to be one of my things. I'm going to be Chicago's cake.
Oh.
And you just made me feel that all down in my soul, that I am Chicago's cake.
Absolutely.
And let's just face it, Garrett's is Chicago's popcorn.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me.
Thank you for reaching out. I bet you, see, look at that, you threw. And you reached.
I did.
Yeah, you didn't even think I was going to respond.
I did.
You just tapped. But you know what? That's biblical, not right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all, we didn't talk about cake, cupcakes, cookies, brownies, I feel like everything. But we have it. But if you ever want to have some amazing cake, please visit Brown Sugar Bakery here in Chicago, or you can order online
at brownsugarbakerychicago.com. Please follow me on Instagram at brownsugarbakeries, IES on the end, and on Facebook, Brown Sugar Bakery Chicago.
Yes, and some pretty historic people have come here. Kamala's been here.
That was the best. Oh, Judge Mathis coming today. Everybody, Jesse Jackson, I've had all of my senators here. We love Juliana Stratton. We love our state's attorney. She comes in. All the kinds of celebrities. My favorite celebrity that likes my cake, and I want him to be at my 20th anniversary, so if you know him, tell him. That's Lupe Fiasco. Look up the song Beamin'. That's been my theme song.
You want to kick it with me? Hit that subscribe button and you won't miss